Aloha, everyone. It's your girl, your host with the most, your favorite chick to chit chat with. It's your sister on the pull up here to help you unpack, process, and progress forward in power and prosperity. How are we going to do that? Let's dig in and see. Well, today is the first Monday of May. It's actually May 2nd. Somebody say new month, May Day. Let's dive right into it. This is going to be a quick one. I want to call this a momental snapshot, so to speak. And what I wanted to talk to us about today is hope. Hope is something that's been before me for the last few days. It's something I've been, discussing with God and praying about for others and so on and so forth. And so one of the things that I wanted to discuss pertaining to it is how important and critical hope is towards our day-to-day, our future, and whatever it is that our goals or dreams or whatever we're going after, right? We already know that the Bible teaches us in Proverbs 13 and 12, that hope deferred makes the heart sick. Most of us stop right there, but we have to go on and continue to read that last part where it says, but when desire is fulfilled, it is a tree of life. Listen, the thing that you focus on is the thing that you manifest the most in your life. It's the thing that you pull towards you. It's the thing that becomes your reality because it's been your focus. And what you focus on, you tend to go after. You tend to move towards, right? So this is why it becomes your reality. So when we're inflicted with pain, with trauma, with hurt, with disappointment, with despair, if we focus on the root of that pain, if we focus on that pain and how that thing is making us feel consistently, then what happens is we begin to go deeper into that thing, right? And the deeper we go into it, we can tap into different levels of depression. Now, depression operates different for everybody, and there are different levels to it. And some levels, are a little easier for you to come out. You can come out of on your own. Sometimes you can use just a little help, a little assistance. Sometimes some levels of the depression requires different tools and treatments. And some treatments are medications. Those medications numb you so that during the point of your depression, you don't cause harm to yourself or others, right? But it's still not a good feeling. It still hasn't healed you. It's just something to help cope, to get you to the point of your healing. Well, when depressed and things like that, sometimes we lose hope. Oftentimes we lose hope in those states, right? And so what we need to do is turn our focus, because what hope does is it gives our mind permission to visualize where we're going. And as we visualize where this thing is taking us, we begin to draw towards that. When that becomes our focus, what we're hoping for becomes our forefront, right? And that's the thing that we begin to believe towards. And, faith without works is dead. So what you're doing is, now that hope has entered back into the room, you're no longer focused on that thing that's causing you pain. You're no longer focused on your despair. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. It doesn't mean it wasn't bad. It doesn't mean what may have happened to you wasn't wrong. It doesn't mean any of that. It simply means that I've chosen that this pain, I've entertained it long enough, and I am now moving towards, I am hoping for something better. And everything in me, I'm going to pull into alignment in the direction of the thing that I'm hoping for, because it's created this vision that shows me a healthier, wholesome, happier place full of joy, life, and freedom, right? So it's not easy. And we hear the statement all the time where people say it's easier said than done. But just because it's easier to say it than it is to do it does not mean that it cannot be done. It just takes more effort to do it than it does to say it. So say it, and then make everything in you begin to go in the direction of that thing that you are hoping for. I hope this helps somebody today grab hold to their hope and begin to move in the direction of a better day, a brighter day, a healthier day, and a day full of love and joy. I love y'all real big. I'll be doing these whenever I do them. I just wanted to jump on quickly, and God bless you all. I hope you all have an amazing day. I hope May is filled with so much joy and love for you. Remember to take care of your mental health, your physical health, and to love yourself as well as others. Take care of you because sometimes others don't. So you're responsible for taking care of you. All right. God bless you all. Love y'all real big. Until next time, y'all already know what to do. Keep it kingdom. Good morning. Good morning. Good Monday morning. Aloha. It is your girl, your host with the most, your favorite chick to chit chat with. It's your sister on a pull up here to help you unpack, process, and progress forward in power and prosperity. How are we going to do that on this Monday? Who knows? But let's get into it. So I have another momental snapshot for you, and I want to talk about comparison and how at times comparison can become the silent killer to your dreams and your hopes. So last Monday we talked about hope and how critical it was for our future and what type of role it plays in our future. But one of the things that comes against our hope can be comparison. And oftentimes it's comparison to others. We can easily take a look at somebody's life and be like, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. And then when you look at your life and the fact that your life does not line up with their life, you start to feel bad about where you are. You start to get discouraged, especially if the person you're comparing yourself to is doing something that you wanted to do and you don't see the fruit that you see in their life on your own. Well, the problem sometimes is that you see the fruit that you're looking at, but you don't know what it's rooted in. You don't know what all they had to do to be able to see what it is that you're looking at. So sometimes we're putting in the work that we know to do, and we're not producing what we believe should be. We don't know what their sacrifices were. We don't know how many times they may have failed before they got to that point. We don't know how much labor went into what it is we're looking at. And what happens is it becomes discouraging. Now, if you can compare something and it brings you inspiration, that's good. But remember that hope isn't based in inspiration. Hope is according to your faith, and your faith is according to the word of God. So if God didn't speak it, you can't hold him to it, right? Now, God is concerned about the things that concern us, the things that we do, the things that we put our hands to. They are concerns of God, but you have to determine where they fall on the list of concerns for him. It is not his responsibility to allow you to walk into something that is no good to you, him, or others, right? But it still may be very well your desire. So we have to be careful of those things. Now, sometimes we can look at it and be like, oh, well, this person is 20 years older than us. And and that could be, you could already be in your 40s and 50s. So you're looking at somebody 60 or 70 and what they're accomplishing. And then you look at where you are and you start to beat up on yourself. If that doesn't inspire you or encourage you, then it's a problem. It is not a good comparison for you. Your body may have gone through things that their body did not. You may have had a different diet through life or lifestyle through life than they did. You don't know what it took for them to get there. So you looking at it 50, 60, 70 years later and saying, wow, they're still able to do this. What you don't know is all they did throughout their life that was different from what you did throughout your life to be able to do what they're doing at that particular age. Now, just because you didn't do the same thing does not mean that you cannot make changes. You cannot make adjustments. You cannot add things or take away things from your life and accomplish those same things if those are truly your goals, your heart's desire, and not looking at their life to become the model of yours, because your makeup and design, your DNA may have been set to produce something totally different from what they're doing. And what you're built for, you're built for. So comparison can be a good thing. It can produce inspiration. But again, if it's just inspiration, then what is it really rooted and founded in, especially if it isn't your dreams, your goal, your purpose, your assignment? It's just something that you're looking at. So in order for there to be a comparison, there has to be something that is established to some degree or level that catches your eye. So what you did with that thing that you're comparing to is it has set the bar for you. But what if that is not the path for your life? And so now you're chasing after something that was never meant for you. And now you don't have hope because it's not producing. And we already know how important hope is, right? All right. So that's all I have for you guys. Just a little snippet. Maybe I'll come back again later throughout the week or next week with more on this topic. But until then, you all know what time it is. Keep it kingdom. Love y'all real big. Until next time. Aloha, everyone. It's your girl, your host with the most, your favorite chick to chit chat with, Miss Mo. It's your sister on the pull up, here to help you unpack, process, and progress for empower and prosperity. How are we going to do that? Let's dig in and see. Today, we're going to stay in topic with our focus for this month, which has been hope. The first two messages have been about hope, so this momental snapshot will be about hope as well. The first one, we talked about how important hope was to our future. And then the second one, we talked about the silent killer of comparison and how we can, often kill our hope and our dreams because we're comparing ourselves to others and so on and so forth. Well, today I want to talk about a key component that is needed to keep or to nurture, to grow our hope, right? And that is faith and trust, because you have to trust the source that's feeding your hope, as well as have faith that what you're hoping for will come to pass. So all three of these components work together. Now, as we remember in Hebrews 11:1, I'm going to read it from the Amplified version. It says, "Now faith is the assurance, title deed, confirmation of things hoped for, divinely guaranteed, and the evidence of things not seen, the conviction of their reality. Faith comprehends as fact what cannot be experienced by the physical senses." Now, in other translations, the part that talks about of assurance, it says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for." Now, the part that I really want us to rest in and pay attention to is the evidence of things not seen. And sometimes that thing that you're hoping for, you don't see it. There's no evidence of it. There's no proof that this thing is coming to pass. And sometimes when you're communicating what you're hoping for to others, they can't see it. They can't even envision it in their minds. They can't even imagine what it is that you're talking about. And sometimes their lack of ability to do so will cause them to speak against the thing that you're in hope for. This is why by faith, you're going to have to cling towards what it is you're hoping for in your life. Now, we also know faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So another thing is, are you hoping for what it is that God has spoken concerning you? So when God has released the thing to you, when God himself has told you that this shall be, then you have to settle it within yourself. Now, you have people that say, move in silence. I don't care whether you move in silence or move loudly. Just make sure you move in wisdom. However, sometimes it is very important that before you begin to speak about it to others, that you settle it within yourself. Because if it's not firmly planted in you, if that thing hasn't taken root in you, in your heart, in your belief system, then it'll be easy for someone else to come along and, based upon their limited view, they weren't in a room when you heard what you heard. And based upon that, their limited view doesn't allow them to envision or imagine what it is you're speaking about. And so their words will begin to speak against the thing that you're hoping for. And because it's not rooted in you, they'll uproot it easily because it's not attached to you. It's just a thought. It's a fading thought. So sometimes you do have to keep silent until you get that thing rooted firmly within you where nobody can remove it but God himself. Excuse me. And so what it says, now faith is the substance or the assurance of things hoped for. Divinely guaranteed is what it says by hope for. It's divinely guaranteed. Get that thing rooted. And it says, and it's the evidence of things not seen. It says the conviction of their reality. Of whose reality? Those things that you're hoping for. So the very existence of them is only in your conviction of their reality. That faith comprehends it as a fact. Your faith says, even though nowhere in my physical senses can I pick up this thing that I'm hoping for, it still is there. Why? Because my faith tells me that it has to manifest. My faith tells me that it has to come to pass. Why? Because my faith was rooted in what it is that God spoke to me, and that built my hope. So you have to have your faith system intact, and you know what it takes for you to settle something within yourself. Give yourself that time and permission. Hold firm to your hope. Get it anchored. Don't lose faith. Continue to trust no matter how long it takes. Make sure you're also working towards what it is that you're in hope for, because we know faith without works is dead. All right, that's all I have for you guys. Until next time, I love y'all real big, and as always, keep it kingdom.